Good morning, students. Myself Abhishek Sharma from Mount Litra Z School, Jhansi. Today we are continuing chapter 5 of class 12 economics, that is money. In our previous class we have discussed about money, its definition, meaning, evolution, barter exchange system, its drawbacks. Today we will going to discuss first forms of money. Some important forms of money are described as fiat money, fiduciary money, full-bodied money and credit money. So what is fiat money? Fiat money refers to that money which is issued by order, authority of the government. It includes all notes and coins which the people in a country are legally bound to accept as a medium of exchange. Whereas fiduciary money is that money which is accepted as a medium of exchange because of the trust between the payer and the payee. For example, check are the fiduciary money, as these are accepted as means of payment on the basis of trust, not on the basis of any order of the government. Now, full-bodied money refers to money in terms of coins whose commodity value is equal to the money value as and when these are issued. For example, a 1 rupee coin during the British period of India was made up of silver. Commodity value of the coin was equal to its money value at the time of its issuing. This means metallic and face value are equal. Now, credit money. Credit money refers to that money of which money value is more than the commodity value. Example, what is the market value of the metal that the rupee coin is made of India? Obviously much lower than the money value of the rupee coin. Otherwise, people could have melted these coins and sold them metal in the market as a price greater than of 1 rupees. Now the next topic is supply of money. Supply of money is a stock concept. It refers to total stock of money of all types held by the people of country at a particular of time. It is important to note that money supply does not include stock of money held by the government or stock of money held by the banking system of a country, because the government and the banking system of a country are suppliers of money, and the stock of money held by the suppliers of money is never treated as a part of the supply of money in the country. But now question is, who supplies the money? Supplier of money includes central government of the country, that is RBI, commercial bank and the government. In India, RBI is the principal supplier of money. RBI issues currency on the basis of minimum reserve system. Under this system, RBI maintain a minimum reserve of 200 crores in the form of gold and foreign security. Of these, reserve value of gold must be 115 crores. Commercial bank are the second significant source of money supply. Unlike the central bank, commercial bank does not have the authority of issuing currency. The commercial bank cannot issue notes and coins, yet they are the supplier of money as they create money by the way of demand deposit. Now, how you can measure money supply? As you are seeing on the screen, I have mentioned one formula, M1 equals to C plus DD plus OD. So what is C? C, it refers to the currency held by the public. It includes coins as well as paper notes. DD, it refers to demand deposit of the people with the commercial bank. These are checkable deposit which can be withdrawn or transferred on demand. Now, OD. OD means other deposit. These are the other deposit which include first, demand deposit with RBI of public financial institution like NABARD. NABARD means National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development. Second, demand deposits with RBI of foreign central banks and of the foreign government. Third, demand deposits of international financial institution like IMF, International Monetary Fund and World Bank. Especially, OD does not include deposits of the government of the country with RBI and deposits of the country's banking system with RBI. Distinction may be drawn between gross demand deposit and net demand deposit with the commercial bank. Gross demand deposit include interbanking claims, claim of one bank against the other, whereas net demand deposit do not include net banking claims. Interbanking claims are not a part of demand deposits of the people. Only net demand deposit are taken as a part of money supply. So students, that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.